So click on the bell button so that you don't ever miss any of my videos, and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already.
Hey, what's up guys? Jamie here. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. If you are not caught up with The Walking Dead or have not seen mid-season 8 premiere of The Walking Dead, then I suggest you click out now. A lot of you might like to skip intros, but I wouldn't, because you're going to get spoiled if you are not caught up or haven't seen the latest episode, and it's not going to be my fault when you skip ahead and you are spoiled. Really quick, I'm doing an uploading schedule, so Saturdays and Wednesdays I will be consistently uploading, and the only time I'm not going to stick to my scheduling is a Walking Dead season premiere or finale, or if there is a pay-per-view, I'll typically do a review the day after. Since The Walking Dead and WWE are on both at the same time on Sunday, I'm putting this video of The Walking Dead up today, Monday, and one on Wednesday for a WWE review of the pay-per-view. I just didn't want to put so many videos out on one day. This is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, fine. I just want to say that I've been rude to people. I know there are people who have been fighting and pissed and sad and, too into a show. I've been guilty of fighting with people online over the TV show. I've gotten way too invested into both wrestling and The Walking Dead and other shows that I've watched, and where when you differ in opinion, you're ready to kill the other person. I am just as guilty as you are, so I'm not trying to come across as hypocritical because I've done it, but I'm admitting it's a little excessive to act like that. This is not a real show. Like Chris Hardwick always says, this is not a documentary. We are not actually following people who are trying to survive an apocalypse. If we were in apocalypse, we wouldn't be watching television. I've gotten way too into the show too, but that's what's coming to my first point, is that I think that's what is such a wonderful thing about The Walking Dead, is that it invokes so much emotion out of you. Whether you hated this episode, whether you haven't liked it since Glenn died, for whatever your reasons are, you know how much emotion is just invoked out of you. You're ready to murder somebody. And this is over a fictional character. I'm upset over a freaking character. He's not even real. But I think they did such a good job at invoking such emotion out of this episode, and as they always do in certain episodes. We're pissed, happy, sad, and I also really love the emotion that you could feel from both the characters and both the fans, and just how everyone felt. I didn't like about this is that it was a bit drawn out for some parts, and it was a bit confusing on flashbacks, flash forwards, dreams, but I know they do that a lot in The Walking Dead, and I know it's to prove a point and to kind of further the story and for character development, or to further a character. It was just a bit confusing.
Spoiler!
Out Carl's death was for that emotional component. Would you rather him just killed off and that's it? I mean, we had to see how he was bitten. We learned how he was bitten, when he went back with that, what's the guy's name? The new guy that he saved, and, the walker went on top of him and he got bitten, on the torso. Can't exactly save someone when they're bitten, not on their extremities. Can't exactly chop off your stomach or chop off from here down, but you wouldn't live. And then even if you did live, you wouldn't. What would I walk with? I would have to get a whole new lower body. So Carl gets bitten, and then that once someone's bitten, they are going to die. And good thing we're furious, pissed, sad over a fictional character dying. They have invoked so much emotion, and they are able to get us so attached to characters that when we lose somebody, it really feels like we're losing somebody for real. It feels like they really did die. And for Carl especially, because he's been since season 1, episode 1. We have literally, he's the only character we've watched go from a little child to now an adult. He is 18 years old. 18 is where you reach adulthood. And we literally watched this character grow up. So that's why it makes it a billion times harder that he is now gone. I have Walking Dead posters in the background. I love Walking Dead. Like, I have wrestling posters in the background too, but besides the point, I love The Walking Dead, and I don't think they should have killed him off. I know people in the comics, or not people in the comics, but comic book readers say he drives the story on and it ruins the whole show, and I don't necessarily think it ruins the whole show, like, but I think it definitely will have a big impact on the show, and I'm still in denial. I wish like it was somehow a dream, or like I somehow am wishing like all those dream sequences is someone else's dream, or Carl's dreaming that he got bitten or something, but it is the end. I mean, sorry if you can hear my mom in the background, she's talking on the phone. Far. And just as I was saying at the beginning, I've been guilty of being furious too, fighting with people. I get way too into wrestling sometimes. I'm ready to throw my entire laptop out the window sometimes because I'm so frustrated at what I'm watching. And we've all been guilty. Every single one of us, no matter what show you're watching, no matter what fandom you're in, no matter if you watch a sport or don't watch a sport, we've literally been ready to murder somebody over something, or murder the TV screen that we were watching it on, or whatever, our tablet or iPad or, laptop. But with that being said, I understand, I'm mad too. I might not show it right now on camera. I'm mad too, but to go and create a petition and to say you're going to stop watching the show, I mean, it's your choice. Whatever. But that you're going to stop watching a show over a character dying, especially when it's called The Walking Dead. It's based off of a zombie apocalypse. It's not Disney Channel where everyone's going to live, hold hands, flowers come out of the everywhere, and it's happily ever after all the time. I'm sure a lot of shows kill off characters, but The Walking Dead kills off main characters. They have said it before. Nobody is safe. And I know certain deaths on any show has evoked a lot of emotions from people. And, but I think it's excessive the way some people are acting. Like, people have acted like this for every death. Beth, Glenn. I mean, Glenn dies in the comics, and then there are people who, read the comics and they do what the comic says, and then they're not happy. And I know everyone has an opinion. I think some reactions are very excessive. It's one thing to be angry and upset, but people are doing petitions and ready to rip down, people's jobs and everything. And I get it. He shouldn't have died. He was an essential part of the plot, the character, and to move on the story. And it almost kind of ruins the show. But at the same time, I think we're being a bit excessive. I know there are some deaths that people don't like. You're not going to like everything any show does. And, it hurt definitely to see him die, and it's going to hurt the show. But we also have to remind ourselves at the end of the day that this is just a show, and I also think it's another thing that Carl shouldn't have been, or not Carl, but Chandler shouldn't have been treated the way he did. But, we're not him and we're not his parents. And just to remind yourself, it's a show. I think this will forever change The Walking Dead, good or bad. But overall, I'm still going to watch. If you don't want to watch, that's on you, But it's what I think ruining the show, too, is just some of the fans. What happened to the good old days where we had discussions and everything, and the characters on the show? And, oh my gosh, they all did wonderful. But you kind of start to learn even more about the characters. And you also, the emotion and the bond that some of the characters have with each other. You have and Michonne, their bond, and when he took Judith away and she started crying, I looked away from my mom because I was watching with my family, and I could feel the tears coming. That just broke my heart. It's just, I think the show does such a good job with emotion. I mean, you guys are pissed. I'm so sad. I think some of the storytelling is wonderful in here. Just the, kind of a mother-son bond with Carl and Michonne, that best friend quote is so important. So overall, I thought the show kind of dragged on with certain parts, but I thought emotionally it was great. Storytelling, it was great. You could see all the bond between all of the characters, with Michonne and Carl when she said that they're best friends, they're kind of son-mother type of bond. And then, the always bond that, and the dialogue between Rick and Carl when they were talking about, this is all for you. and I'm gonna do this for you, and everything's been for you. And just that heartbreaking scene with Judith and Carl when he was saying goodbye. And then the other characters don't know, so that's going to be another heart-wrenching thing when they find out that Carl is gone. And just Daryl and Rick's bond, I'll take the baby for you. I think it was important also between Carol, Ezekiel, and Morgan, who Morgan has gone through phases as well. He's gone through phases of being calm, peace, love, then, having to exterminate all the walkers, to now on a killing spree madman that has to go and kill every savior. But he kind of realized that when that child killed that other savior. That at point I felt like you felt bad for him because he had to, but then you didn't feel bad because he was a savior, and it almost looked like he was kind of wanting to come to the good side. And Carol has had her phases too of just murdering everybody and then kind of being on her own, and then now kind of telling Morgan, like, we gotta work together, we can't just murder everybody. And Ezekiel realizing too, like, no, it's not about being all happy, party, my people. Like, you gotta survive, you gotta fight to do this. And, I like the three duo between them. They are all bad butts. And Carol is teaching Ezekiel how to be a bad butt. And I don't like to swear, but overall, I think some parts were really slow. I think some parts were drawn out, but I think for Carl's sake, it had to be. And I know people don't want him to be dead. I don't want him to be dead either. Let me know what you guys thought. Bye.